right now on YouTube. It's preparing. Okay, send us a shout out in the chat room. Let us know how you're feeling today and ready to start with you. Okay, my name is Lily Flor. I'm from Mujeres de Maíz, and I will be co-hosting. Hosting. Shout out in the chat room.
Just close your YouTube.
Ready to start with you. So I'm hosting today with Mujeres de Maíz, and we're doing Sanacion Sundays. And I will be so Sanacion Sundays is a series of programming that we have for Women's International Day. And since we cannot gather in person, we're gathering virtually, and we're offering programming for the whole month of March. And part of our March programming is to promote our fundraiser for our documentary for documenting 24 years of Mujeres de Maíz. And I pass it over to Claudia Mercado, a co-founder of Mujeres de Maíz, and she will tell you a little bit more about our fundraiser.
Before we do that, Lily Flor, there's an echo on your end. Can you either turn off your iPad or whatever device that you have, your phone? Or you can mute yourself, yeah. Hi, Claudia.
Hi, I just want to make a comment. I was reading like on StreamYard that when you hear an echo, it's because somebody else may have two different things on, like checking their Facebook and on Zoom, or you know, that's what I was reading that may cause echoes. Just wanted to share that.
Okay, thank you, Maritza. I'm talking right now. Is there an echo right now? We're just double checking. No, we're good. Okay, so it might be on Lily's end. Welcome everybody. I'm so excited for today. Thank you all for showing up. You know, not necessarily for this event, but for yourself, because ultimately this is something that is going to empower you in one form or another. And that's one of the things about Mujeres de Maíz, is that from the very get-go, the mission, the desire has been to empower other women. If we don't empower ourselves, who's going to do it? We got to know how to do it for ourselves. And in doing it for ourselves, when we do it for ourselves, we want to do it for other people. And that is the heart of what Mujeres de Maíz really has been from the get-go. And I'm one of the co-founders of Mujeres de Maíz. And so my desire back then was to document, simply just document the work that women of color do, document the work that Chicanas do. And, you know, when I went to school, I didn't get to see any people like me or my family or my raza represented in, you know, on the big screen, or even when I was in school, you know. So our stories are very important. Our work is very important. And that's one of the reasons why I started to document back in 1997. Little did I know, I had no idea that 20 something years later, I would be making a documentary on Mujeres de Maíz. So your participation here will not only, like I said, help you, but we hope and dream that you will, in your hearts, you will realize how important it is to support the vision and the work of Mujeres de Maíz and to put it out in the world. So I'll just leave it at that for right now. So, and I'll talk more about the GoFundMe campaign that we're having, and I'll put it up in the chat for you to review. And we got some really cool surprises and giveaways that we'll talk about. So start thinking about, you know, how much you could potentially support. And no amount is too small or too big. We welcome it all. And if you cannot support, we welcome and ask you to please spread the palabra, share the word. And with that, I will pass the baton, and just want to say thank you, and we're going to have a kick-ass plática here. So thanks, you guys. We'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you, Claudia. Okay, so now we're going to, and bear with me, everyone. I am learning this as well as I'm going. Thank you so much for the introduction. Remember, everyone, to check the chat, share our live stream with friends. For those of you that are in here, we apologize for not being able to go through everyone at a time because this is a Zoom, and we want to make sure that you are all acknowledged and make sure you are chatting with our moderators in the chat room and introducing yourself and whatever it is that you do and you want to share, you're more than welcome to do that. Before we start off, I want to welcome everyone again to Sanacion Sundays, and we are grateful and thankful for our sister Pakinsani from Indigemama Ancestral Healing. She's here today with us to facilitate this workshop that we offer every Sunday. And the workshop, she's calling it, or she called it, social media and self-care, 3 sure ways to get rid of toxic habits that drain your time and energy. Who doesn't feel like that sometimes? Even getting ready for this kind of felt just a little bit, and I had a timeout for myself and be like, okay, I need to take care of myself in order to be present here 100%. And I think that's been a topic for a lot of people, whether you're a teacher or an entrepreneur or a parent or just people in general who don't even have this as a day job, that we're now communicating through social media. So this is a great topic, and I really appreciate that you really touched on that, because normally Pakistani touches on other things, but the core of our healing comes from our womb, and that's something that I heard Pakistani say, and some of her platicas as well as her website. And I'm going to read a little bit about her, so I'm going to introduce you who she is. Give me 1 second. Okay, Indigemama Ancestral Healing helps women attain optimal health through traditional and modern holistic healing modalities. Reconnect with your womb, your ancestry, and Mother Earth. Deepen and strengthen your wellness practices with Indigemama, ancestor womb massage, herbalism, traditional foods, and educational courses. Be one of the 100 women to attend her workshops by Ketsani. Learn and convene with inspired women of color and allies dedicated to feminine wellness and vitality. Treat yourself to a personalized consultation privately with Indigemama on phone or in person or her workshops. And I just wanted to read a little bit about herself. I'm sorry, I just kind of read her intro on her website, but I think it's a great introduction about who she is and what she's about. She's about ancestral healing through the womb, also taught through her mother, I believe. I think she was Zacatecana, right? La abuelita. And I know I did my little research, and of course, because I've been following you myself for a minute, I think since you started as well. And I just wanted to say hello, Pakinsani. Introduce yourself to everyone here right now.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here and be back supporting Mujeres de Maíz and the really important, the crucial trabajo that they've been doing in our communities for decades now. I know that when I first came in as a little mocosa teenager, Mujeres de Maíz and, the community of Mujeres, the Chicanas, were the folks that I admired and looked up to. So I'm really happy to be here with you.
Thank
Today
you
we're
so
gonna,
much.
yeah.
We appreciate you, and we appreciate everyone here who's here today. I want to introduce everyone from Mujeres de Maíz, our co-founders, including myself. Felicia Montes is on the chat room with us. Claudia Mercado and also Maritza Alvarez. I want to acknowledge their presence here as well, and they're going to be helping out with the chat room. And of course, jumping in and out whenever I need help. And before we move on, thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Thank you for being here, Pakistani. I know how you got your name after ceremony, and that's what your elder called you. You're Pakistani, the flag carrier, and that's amazing. That's a beautiful name, and definitely a great way to share who you are with the world, because our names have so much energia, right? And with that, I wanted to ask you, and I'm going to put you on the spot because I didn't tell you, but I'm going to ask you, what was your first interaction with Mujeres de Maíz?
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
a good question. It was at a concert in okay, no, let me go even further back.
Okay.
My
Okay.
first interaction. So I was 12 years old
Wow. 12.
and I heard there was this, the Peace and Dignity Run album compilation where in like Etch.
Yes.
Oh shoot, what song was it? Oh,
Okay, Claudia, jump in.
Viento,
For
agua,
your Shauki
tierra,
song,
fuego. I think it was that one.
or the viento, the Four Elements song, Viento, Agua, Tierra, Fuego.
Yeah.
Viento, agua, tierra, fuego. That one.
Yeah. What year was that?
I believe Felicia put it in the chat. I believe that was
2000.
2000. There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, I was 12 in 2000, I think. I'm
Eee.
36. Someone do math for me. I don't do math.
Okay,
I
so
don't do math on Sundays.
second question for you is, after that interaction,
Mhm.
what did you leave with that day?
That day, oh my gosh, I remember I was such a cute little 12-year-old nerd. So I was already just growing my own garden. I lived in Echo Park. There was a lot of hills in our yard. And I remember I would wake up really early in the morning to garden, and my room was always clean. I was like all just super, zen. And I remember just like putting on the music, listening to the album, and then going outside, burning sage, praying, and working the land. I was just like clear and calm, and I felt so connected to my identity.
That's a beautiful reflection. Thank you for sharing that. See, these kinds of like interactions we didn't know, but I mean, I personally didn't know that story, but it's a good way for us to also document people or the círculos or the mujeres that
Yeah.
have
Mhm.
grown up to be like these strong women in the community and serving our gente, and what you're doing is very important and very vital. So want to thank you for sharing that. And so without further ado, we're gonna move forward, and we're going to introduce your workshop, and the ladies that are here online right now and the people that are on YouTube as well. Want to say hi to our YouTube viewers that are on live now. Join in, get a notebook or ground yourself, get ready, make sacred space to dive into this workshop that Pakistani will lead right now for us. So take it away. You have it.
Thank you. I want to start off with 3 collective breaths. And in those breaths, I want you to have the intention of slowing down your nervous system. The online world is super fast. You don't respond to an email in a day, you already get 20 follow-up emails. You could clear all your DMs next day, like it's like you never even touched them, right? And so sometimes we attune ourselves to the online timing, right? But we're on our own physical and divine timing. So your breath will help you get there. So I want us to synchronize our breaths. Go ahead and get comfortable wherever you are. And you're going to focus your awareness in the center of your head, right behind your eyes. And then relax your shoulders. If you feel like this, just bring them down. And go ahead on the count of 3. We're going to synchronize our breath. We're going to inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Inhaling. Hold it at the top. Bring in a little bit more air. And then you're going to slowly exhale. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Long exhale. In this next breath, I want you to feel your belly expand like a giant balloon. All right. You want to get a big fat belly. Like that's your goal with this next breath. All right. Inhaling, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. Appreciate that big fat panza. Holding it at the top and gentle exhale through the mouth. And with this next breath, I want you to feel connected to all of the folks on this call. You're all here with the same intention of creating healthy habits in person and online. Go ahead, inhale. 1, 2, 3, inhale through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth. Making space for joy. All right. Let me know in the chat if in the last 7 days, just in this last week, if you've experienced social media fatigue. Tell me yes or no in the chat. In the last 7 days, have you experienced social media fatigue? Yes, I'm saying a lot of yeses. Right now, it's super crucial that you, for your own well-being, that you feel connected to other humans. 1, it's the indigenous way, and 2, we're in quarantine, and human connection is a part of your wellness routine. Like, you have to have it in order to be mentally healthy. So what happens sometimes is you want to check on a friend, you want to reach out, you want to connect, but the internet is flooded with ads and advertisements. And really, you have to jump across the pond like you're a little sapito in order to get to your friend, in order to connect, right? It's almost like a trap. And so colonialism and patriarchy and all of the things that industrialization and capitalism brings, it bleeds into our experience online. And that's detrimental for you, because instead of moving on with your connection, your intention of connecting with a person, you're like, ooh, look, there's this person. Look at that cool, like, sacco she has on. I'm gonna click on that. Ooh, look, they have home shit too. Oh my gosh, I need organic bedding. And then you're off, and then you're going where the memes go to die, like, and it's midnight, and then you're like, what happened to all of my time, right? And that organic bedding, that's my thing. That's like, that's my advice, like organic bedding sales. That's me projecting. But really, you know, the internet is neutral. The internet is neutral. It's neither good, it's not good, it's not bad. We use it the way that we actually, we end up using it in the way that we come in with. So we could use it for good, we could use it and just get used by it, get our asses kicked by it. So in order for you to have a healthy relationship with social media, you have to develop healthy habits. And unfortunately, the habits that we've developed up until now, if you feel fatigued, then you're doing it wrong. If you feel social media fatigue, you're not using social media right. So I'm going to show you 3 of my top tips as an entrepreneur, as a mother, as a healer, that I use every day, all the time, in order for me to be productive and to have a healthy relationship with social media. So the first tip is discipline. Heaven says barro's my vice. Ooh. So discipline. So when I go into, let's say, Instagram, I'm not going in and being like, okay, I need to do 1, 2, and 3 things, and then forgetting about what I do, right? I'm going in with a specific goal, and I give myself a time frame. I try not to spend more than 20 minutes. And if I go over those 20 minutes at a time, then I stop what I'm doing. I stop what I'm doing and I'm like, okay, I wasted my allotted time for social media right now. So now when I come back, I'm even more determined to try again later. Right? You could spend hours on social media. Yesterday, I spent 2 hours And I was like, no, what am I doing? You know, but I was like promoting this event. And then I had a friend that I needed to check on. And then I got sucked in and I was like, no, you know, like trying to do things quick, trying to stay focused. It's almost like a trap. So one of the things that I do to hold myself accountable is time myself. I'll use Clockify. Clockify is an app that you can get for free. And what you do is you clock in and clock out. It's like a time card. And I use that to time all of my time that I'm working 24/7, right? So that I know, like, okay, I spend this much time on social media. I spend this much time emailing. I spend this much time developing content. I spend this much time. Like, I need to know in order to be clear. I recently used Clockify to realize, like, okay, I'm spending more time on social media than I would like, but also as an entrepreneur, I have to be there unless I want to do paid ads on Google or other, you know, websites, right? So what I did was I divided my time in half on social media and brought in a person to help me with the other half of the time, right? There's also other apps like the Freedom app. The Freedom app, you can sync it across devices. So if I'm on Facebook on my computer, then I pick up my phone and I go on Facebook, the little timer will show up and I'll be like, oh, I only have 4 more minutes today or this hour on Facebook. And then it'll time me out. It'll kick you out. And so this is for extreme, like if you really don't have discipline and you need that accountability. Also, the other thing in terms of discipline, I know as an entrepreneur what my high value activities are. So ask yourself, what is my highest value activity? If I'm an entrepreneur, what are the things that help me make this experience valuable? Is it scrolling through the feed and liking people's photos? Is it scrolling through the feed and commenting on families' photos? Is it just going straight to your DMs and answering all of them? Or do you want to answer only specific DMs? I'll tell you how I quantify my high value activities. So because I have a bunch of DMs and followers, I don't have capacity to answer to everybody, right? I don't have capacity to answer. There's so many DMs that I get and they're all really heartfelt. People really need help. But realistically, if I want to have a healthy relationship with social media, I can't be answering those DMs. And as a healer, it's hard for me to ignore, or it's hard for me to save something for later when I do have time, but I have to practice self-preservation. And that's a part of my discipline as a healer, is feeling okay saying no, feeling okay to ignore, right? And so my high value activities are responding to students who are currently enrolled in my courses. I have them all flagged, all of my students that are on social media. When they come into my inbox, they're flagged, and I do respond to them because I'm their teacher. I want to usher their experience. I want to focus on giving them, I want to cultivate that relationship. Right. So that's one high value activity. They don't pay me. I don't say like, oh, you get free access to Pankitsani when you enroll in my course. No, it's something that I value in my work as a healer. So value doesn't have to equal money. I really want to get to know my students. I want to cultivate a relationship. And so that's how I think about value. Also, in my personal life, I use social media for both business and personal. So only the people I know in real life are in my primary inbox. I have a primary inbox on Instagram. I have a secondary inbox. And then I have like the third inbox where people who I don't follow, they like have to get approved to come into my general inbox. Right now, I've just been working with the social media manager for 2 months because it's kind of because it is getting to be a lot because everyone is online, especially since quarantine. And so I let my social media manager handle all of the general inbox stuff, and I only do primary stuff. And so I also ask, what is my intention? So when you pick up your phone, don't just mindlessly like do shit on it. Ask yourself, okay, what is my intention here? What is my intention right now? Is this business? Is this pleasure? Do I need to do one thing and get out? What do I need to do this right now? Right? And then for your homework, so for all of the 3 tips, I'm going to give you an action item. For this one, for discipline, I want you to time yourself. Knowledge is power. I swear, like I can almost 100% guarantee that you spend more time on social media than you think. I know because I think I'm super disciplined. I'm like, oh, I did that so fast, congratulating myself. At the end of the week, I'm like, damn, 4 hours? Like, how did I do that? You know, it's just so much time goes into it. And your brain just gets sucked into it, right? So you have to, because of the nature of it, you have to remove yourself. You have to have some type of measurement for you to realize what's happening in your life. So that's your homework for number 1. The second tip is self-awareness. Yes, Claudia says boundaries. Yep. The second tip is self-awareness. So when you go into social media and you see folks posting shit and they look beautiful and their life looks perfect, one, it's a curated experience. So if afterwards you feel like, damn, that person's that age and I'm this age and they're doing all that, or like, oh, that person gets to vacation, or that person's kids are perfect and mine aren't, or look at that person's garden, mine is all fucked up. Like whatever you have going on in your head, you are seeing a curated version of a person's life. And usually people show you the best, right? They show you the things that they love, that they're proud of, that they want to celebrate. So don't take it to heart. Practice self-awareness. Ask yourself this question. If you're on a social media profile or channel, like, how does this person make me feel? You want to feel only good. You want that person to help you feel good about yourself. If someone makes you feel like shit, if they're saying stuff that just bothers you and you can't shake it, then ask yourself this question: is this worth it? Do I have capacity for this, to see this? Because just in the same way that they're curating their experience for you to see, you also have to have the discipline and the self-awareness to curate your own experience and not just accept everything that comes up on your phone, right? So use the block and unfollow button like you're throwing confetti, like, this doesn't serve me. Woo! I'm just not down with this. I'm just not feeling this. Yay, yay, confetti, 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 right? You don't have to take it personal. And I'm not asking you to create a fictitious bubble where only people you love are here and like you're just in a little bubble. Sometimes we have tios and tias who are just like not in alignment with the way that we feel and think. And sometimes it's worth it for us to actually stay friends with them online so that they could see what we're up to, so that maybe you have hope for them. Maybe you're like, if they see a post about this enough times, maybe it'll spark their critical thinking. So if you have capacity and if it's worth it for you to maintain that relationship, then do it. But don't feel obligated. Your homework for this one is to block or unfollow one person. I love blocking and unfollowing. I love it. It feels so good. It's like easy. It's so easy. Esteban says, I love it too. Elisa says, detoxify from the virtual illusions. Yep. And you know what? Like, honestly, I mean, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but if someone is online talking shit and that's what they do with their time, most likely they're more fucked up than you are. I'm just saying. They must have a lot of wounds, a lot of hurt that they're not working through, you know, to come across like that. All right. Third tip is ease. Your experience should not be like, oh my gosh, I feel so much pressure to post. I haven't posted in like X amount of days. I really want to like share this, but maybe I feel nervous about feeling exposed. And that ties into our experience in the world as Black, Indigenous people of color, where being seen is actually not safe for us. And it has to do with colonialism, because in order for us to survive, and like literally survive in many instances, we had to become invisible, right? And so that inner talk, our internalized oppression does come into play. And so if it's not easy for you to share something, if it's not easy for you to show yourself, then just don't do it. Like, why do you want to put yourself through hardship? You don't have to put yourself through hardship, right? Share what's easy for you. Also realizing and being neutral to the fact that, hey, I'm not for everyone. Like, for me, not everyone likes like poop jokes or like, you know, just the jokes that I make. I sometimes just say what I think and how I feel, and not everyone likes it. Some people don't like my breastfeeding photos. I'm not going to stop posting them because that's my truth, right? And it's okay if people feel more empowered by covering up, then that's for them, and they could go find someone who will reinforce and celebrate that with them, right? They're not for me and I'm not for them, and it's okay. It doesn't make me bad. It doesn't make them bad. I just embrace who I am, and that's it, right? It's easy. Tere says, being comfortable in our own skin than the expectation of others. Yep. Cheryl says, submission via violence conditioned. Right. Right. Hannah says, wow, yes, needing to hide or even try really hard to blend in. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and social media is a place where it's very people could see you, you know, and you could feel naked, you could feel exposed, even if you're not even showing yourself, even your words, you know, and how you feel and your thoughts on something are exposed. But it's okay. What I do is I ask myself, and this goes for not only social media, but all of my work as an entrepreneur and as a healer. How can I make this easy? Right? So I'll give you a direct example. When Mujeres de Maíz asked me to do this presentation, I was like, damn, like I got this and that going on, but I really want to support them. Like I really want to be a part of this. So how can I make this easy for me? Usually I go all out, I have slides, I love going all out. Like I love teaching and I love giving, and I love for folks to have just like a beautiful experience, because I feel like my people deserve that. We have so much academic trauma. We have so much institutionalized trauma. And myself as a healer, I want to give the opposite of that, right? But I also have to be easy on myself. So I was like, okay, you know what? No slides, no nothing. I'm gonna do my outline. Let me show you my outline that I did. Super easy. Look at this. This is my outline. Usually I type shit up. I'll voice it. I just wrote it on I wrote it out on my whiteboard. And this is from my book, from my ebook. And I was like, okay, this is how I can participate and be of service without burning out. This is how I get to preserve my energy and also be guided by my heart. So ask yourself that on social media too. Like, how can I do this in the easiest possible way? I also, unfortunately, waited till like the day before to promote on social media, because I just had so much going on,
Can I
right?
interject?
Yeah.
Okay. So, remember yesterday we were having the back and forth conversation, and I know it's hard for you and it's hard for me. I mean, I'm not just doing MDM. I'm doing,
Yeah.
I have so much. Also, you know me, I'm an artist, I'm an entrepreneur. I also, write my own grants. I have my own job. I did mailers. I mean, all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
Nonstop, right? And then I also do healing work too, right? And I'm also going to school, and then I'm doing some certification work. But
Mhm.
I wanted to direct on that because, I want to participate too, of course, and I wanted to be fully here for my sisters here and also for Claudia for her fundraiser that she's doing for the film. I really wanted to be present because I think it's really important, especially where we're at during this time, right? And everybody's feeling it. And yesterday, if you read my email, I said after 6, I'm not available. I don't know if you remember that.
I didn't read that.
You didn't read it because it was Brenda, your social media. And I said, this is the information,
Mhm.
and we went back and forth. I said, I already had it, so I'm not going to, this is it. I'm tapped, and it's not to be rude or to like, I don't, it was just like, this is it. This is what I'm doing. Y lo que salga, salga. And this is where
Yep.
that part of being easing into it is like accepting that if everything's not there, it's okay because we're here. You're here and you're coming with a full heart and spirit. I'm here with a full heart and spirit. And whatever little technical difficulties, we're going to get through it and we're going to show up. And that's the most important thing. Like, don't reinvent the wheel when you already have it. So you didn't need all these presentations. You didn't need, the fancy stuff. You just needed your corazon and to come and share those tips that people want to connect with and say, wow, I'm feeling that way too. Oh, that's a great tip. And those are great tips that you gave out just right now. So I understand. And I wanted to reflect on I took notes. I'm taking notes. And I'm listening and I'm also writing in the chat too. And I think it's important because it's just for me when I listen to people, whether they're elders or younger. For me, it's always good information. I'm always learning from people. And so the first thing that I want to recap on your tips is the practice of self-preservation and doing high value activities. What do you value, right? And what is your intention and timing yourself? And these are the main notes that stood out to me. And I think that's very important. And that's self-preservation because we extend ourselves too much. And that's where emotional trauma could even be manipulated and used through social media, right? And that's where the energy vampire comes in. That's what I call it, an energy vampire, right? And so self-preservation, whether on social media or outside of it, is very important, right? And secondly, I wanted to be a student and make sure you're are you the sound like my East LA? I'm not from East LA, by the way. I'm so South Central, but I got the thing going. So see, my jokes are could be kind of weird, right? So people don't get it, but it's okay. So, but you get me. Punk and Sunny, the second one that you talked about, self-awareness, the curated experiences, the aesthetics, and like sometimes feeling, oh, I don't look like that. I'm gonna be 50 years old, and I was telling you, I'm going into my 50-year cycle, and I'm like, oh, I don't look like that. I don't look like no Jada Pinkett with no like, like I don't look like so and so. You know what I mean? Well, you know what? They got a private chef They
Yeah.
got, you know what I mean? They got all that. And I don't have, that's okay though. But guess what? I have my jardín, I have my spirit, and that's okay. And I have ceremonia that keeps me well into who I am.
Mhm.
Regardless if some days I wake up toda arrugada, tirada, I don't really care, you know? Like, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna do a yoga video with my panza sticking out anyway. I'm on that one. So, you know, so self-awareness, these pictures could get us like that. And I myself feel in high confidence that I do have, and I acknowledge that. I kind of sometimes feel somewhat like that. And it's just a passing thought. So one thing that I learned from my therapist, because you kind of retracted these things that I went through when the pandemic started,
Yeah.
you know, we all felt this crash kind of happening to us, right? And so I had to have a crash course with my therapist because healers need healing too,
Yeah.
right? And so the self-awareness of what was happening and how people were curating their experiences was so emotionally devastating and draining
Mhm.
for all of us, you know, in different ways.
Mhm.
And some people were having a great time, some people were not, some people were coming back and forth, and we're still this emotional trauma happening through social media experiences, right? And being having that awareness is very important. I want to say thank you for that. That's very, very important to do. Unfollow people that are being toxic. And if you're being that person that's being toxic, you know, because I found myself doing that shit. You know, I found myself saying, fuck this shit, fuck everybody. You know what? Like, I'm gonna, you know, I started to, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute. And then, of course, the me, and it's like, you know, Claudia knows me, and my homegirls here, some of the ladies that are in here know me. Um, you know, if they know me, yo soy bien peleonera, soy hocicona, you know, también, you know, but I'm also feel a very grounded person. But when I feel like when I speak these things is because something really hits my core, and that means something that's morally wrong, whether it's a war act or you know, when the police brutalities, and of course I get angry and I'm going to shoot out. I'm going to shoot some social media, like, you know, like words, you know, heavy harsh words. And I've done that, and there's been times that I just kind of went on a roller coaster with them, you know, where it became toxic for me.
Mhm.
And so I had to recognize when that was happening.
Yeah.
And so now I'm very careful and very mindful how much I'm putting out of that.
Mhm.
And if my friends here on know, lately in the last year, have you seen me shooting out? No. Why? Because I've been really reflecting and
Wow.
having that self-awareness of my own toxicity.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it could be positive,
Yeah.
but in a way, it could also be toxic, like
Yeah.
where I'm pitching in a tent because I'm angry of this
Mhm.
unjust happening. But that again, that's colonization, right? That you were talking about. And thirdly, the last tip is ease, right? Embrace that ease, embrace who you are, you
Mhm.
know, and it takes a lot of work to come to that place,
Mhm.
right? And do whatever you need to do, whether it's taking a bath, you know, a good rose bath, oil bath, taking a walk, timing out of everything, doing the self-care, love, you know, gardening, whatever it is. Be easy on yourself. Not everything is going to come out the way you think it's going to be. Not only those self-care things, but also be easy on situations like us meeting here. And I think we discussed that before we went on, and I
Mhm.
was discussing that. I was like, you know, I'm not going to do that. And you know, and it takes practice to get there. And
Mhm.
ceremony, our auntie Linda Vallejo, and I'm going to quote her, and ceremony in Sweat Lodge in Inipi, I remember this, and I'll take this as she said, you have to learn, and you have to learn to start saying no.
Mhm.
Start saying, and it takes practice. I remember her saying that
Yeah.
inside the lodge because it was a women's lodge.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, how do I start telling people no, you know? And so it becomes easier, you know. And I know my sister's here, man, and we're all in the same,
Yeah.
you know, vibe right now. We're like learning and practicing to say no.
Mhm.
And with that comes the being aware, you know, going into that. And also at the same time, what you were saying about social media, that could be toxic, right?
Mhm.
And looking at that phone, right? The first thing people do is pick up the phone and look at it. Well, the
Mhm.
first thing we should be doing, even before you get up from bed, is acknowledging your breath, your mind, and your feet, you know, and be like thankful for that. Make sure you check in with yourself before you pick up the phone. And that's what I've been practicing in my own routine. So it's like doing all those things. So thank you so much. I just went on, but I wanted to make sure that everyone here, because I've been asked, people are sending me messages. What did she say? You know, because I was doing the notes. So I was kind of reiterating what you said.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for that. And if anyone has questions for Pakensani, and ask right now. Right now is the time, whether you have questions for from the YouTube channel or from the chat here in the Zoom.
Yeah, I just want to give one piece of homework and I'll share my screen. Oh, can you either
Oh, the share.
make me co-host or allow me to share my screen?
Hold on.
So this piece of homework for ease is next time social media feels not easy, whether you're posting, whether you're DMing, whether it's a comment that you want to share, anytime that it just feels not easy, be aware of that, take a break and do something small to nourish you in real life. All right. Step away, put your phone down, take a few breaths. That's super, takes 90 seconds. I mean, we did it right now at the beginning, right? To take 3 breaths. Just do something for yourself. It doesn't have to be big and elaborate. You don't have to get a sitter and take an hour and a whole bath, but just something easy and doable that you could accomplish just in the moment. All right. Let me see if I'm able to share my screen. Yes, I am. Okay. So here is my, so this is my ebook. Where'd it go? Okay, here it is. Is this it? Wait, let me see. Is this page? No. So I guess you're getting a preview of my book now. Okay. So actually, I'm giving this ebook away to 5 people after the Q&A, and I'll tell you exactly how you could win this ebook. This ebook is not even out yet. So the first tip that we have is discipline. And for that, your homework is to time yourself. Figure out exactly how much time you spend on social media. The second tip we had today is self-awareness. And your homework for that, what I want you to do is unfollow 1 person. The last tip that I shared today was ease. And for your homework, when things are not easy, take a quick, nourishing break. I'm going to send you this page of my ebook so that along with this bonus habit here, curiosity, which is really good for if you're a healer entrepreneur, I'm going to share this 1 page with you in a follow-up email after this call. So we're going to go into Q&A. Stay after the Q&A if you would love to get a copy of this ebook. I just want to show you some of the hey, it's me, some of the titles. So is digital storytelling the new oral tradition? How to use social media ethically? The secret behind my 31K on Instagram. Spoiler alert, it's basic. How to cultivate a culture of reciprocity online, right? So it's sustainable for you. So you're not just giving. Is social media a waste of time for my healing business? 4 healthy online habits for every healer entrepreneur. 3 social media tips that promote peace of mind. Which social media platform is best for conscious healers? How to create a web of magia, how to get paid online, and how can I put a price tag on my magic? And then at the end, Telando tu web of magia. So you're going to get this whole ebook, the 5 folks after the Q&A. I'm going to go ahead and check if we have questions in the chat. If you could help me out, when you have a question, just write caps question and then write your question so I could easily find it in the chat here. And for those of you who are entrepreneurs, I have a course coming up called Embodied Enterprise, Extending Tus Manos into the Digital Realm, which helps you as a healer create a digital or online offering. And I'm with you from the beginning of creating the course or the digital service up until like the end when it's nice and packaged so that you could do your thing with it. And I've been teaching online since 2013. So I know a thing or two. AKA I've failed a lot and done a lot of work.
AKA.
So I see a question from Jocelyn. How to prioritize making time to create content that is released consistently? Yeah. So, okay. So in order to think about like you're cooking in the kitchen, right? The most strategic thing to do in the kitchen is to 1, meal plan, and to 2, cook in bulk. So take that approach to social media. Think about one topic, just one topic that you're passionate about. And then from that topic, you could create one thing that you want to address in each topic. So for example, if I want to share about embodied enterprise, extending tus manos into the digital realm, if I want to talk about that for a month, so then I would say, okay, post 1, what is embodied enterprise? Post 2, why, like, how do you share ethically online? What is too sacred for online? Post 3, how to show up on social media feeling comfortable and confident. Post number 3, how can folks benefit from an online offering? Is online better than in person? Like, what are the benefits? You could do like a pros and cons. So from there, I'm taking apart just one thing. So with social media, what I see, like one big mistake that I see people doing is giving too much information at once. And so you don't want the person on the other end to feel overwhelmed. Like we go into it overwhelmed. We're already overwhelmed in life. Like, why would we want to go and read some overwhelming shit, right? So as simple and basic as you can get it, like get it basic and simple. And you could say all the things that you wanted to say in that one post, just break it down into small digestible pieces. So if you could do that, like for 1 hour, just writing out your content, then that's one very strategic time-saving way to do things. That question was from, where am I? Blocking out of disappointment or anger. What is your advice?
This is my question. I am Anastasia.
Hi. So
Hi.
you're asking me how to block out disappointment or anger from social media?
No, I unfollowed the person, and I've done some research because I've been working with a coach, and I've done some work. Like I just finished a healing conference on trauma this week that I attended. So the other attendee is somebody that I became very friendly with because of the pandemic. And is not paying attention to me. And I think maybe, I don't know if it's the person's dysfunction or my dysfunction, or I hear different things, that to block the person, it's too extreme and it could be hurtful. And it also is sort of egotistical on my part. Like, what's my motivation to say, I don't need you, F you. Or the other side is, block him, because to see him is upsetting. So what I've done right now is I've unfollowed him. And I am trying to discipline myself not to look at his page. Because we have like friends, but I'm sort of concerned I could block him, but I'm concerned because I don't have all the info and I don't want to act out of a place of anger.
So one, that if you have a relationship with that person and you feel safe just talking directly to them, then just ask them questions, see how it is, see if you could clarify directly with the person. And then the second thing is just don't overthink it. You know, like if you feel,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. Online is not real life. You're not blocking him from your life. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So try to communicate and just kind of give it a, I've already thought about it enough. Stop overthinking. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure. We have a question from Coco. Any advice for dealing with traumas of social media? Ooh, yes. Yeah, there's a lot of traumatic shit on social media, and a lot of stuff that will activate your traumas. Yeah, self-care in person and knowing when to stop, knowing when to stop re-traumatizing yourself. I mean, I know sometimes you accidentally come up on stuff, but yeah, try to create a web of self-protection and self-preservation, and then practicing self-care all the time. And this goes back to self-awareness. Like, how does this person or this page make me feel, right? Yeah. And then it's really hard too with like real life shit that happens to people of color. And on one hand, our labor and our struggle is invisible, right? Sometimes at best, we're invisible. So on one hand, it's really important for us to be represented by us and show up as ourselves. And then on the other hand, there's a lot of harmful shit going on in BIPOC communities, and we don't want to ignore it. We want to transmute it. So if there is something you can do to mend the situation, like what is one action that you could take? You know, just ask yourself, what is one small action I could take? Can I call a politician? Can I go to a protest? Can I repost something that is really helpful to folks who are struggling with this? So ask yourself, instead of being stuck in the trauma, ask yourself, what is something proactive that you can do about it? Right? And constant self-care all the time. Annette Farrell's question, tips to overhaul my social feed with better content creators. I think I have to overhaul my social feeds and unfollow all the white supremacist and ableist white people making spirituality content. Okay, so yeah, unfollow everybody who's you're not down with. I love it when there's like a holiday, like happy 4th of July shit, like, oh, it's 4th of July. I see everyone who's like celebrating. I'm like, unfollow, 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 unfollow. Like all the people come out and it makes it easy for me, you know, like I'm always practicing ease, right? So that's one tip. Just keep an eye out and just if it feels too overwhelming, like to do a full overhaul, like think about like cleaning your house. Like, do I clean one room at a time, or do I have the energy to clean the whole thing, right? So I don't follow a lot of people for that reason. I don't follow people easily. Question from the YouTube chat: what books have helped you most on your journey? When I was a kid, when I was 15, my friend, she stole a book from the library. Horrible. And it was called Infusions of Healing, and by Joey Davidow. And Anastasia, can you mute yourself? I think you kept yourself on mute. Thank you. It's okay. So that helped me see my own life reflected in the narratives of the curanderas. I was like, oh, this is totally my abuela. Like, oh, my abuela's a curandera. My abuela is like a person in this book. Like she can easily be that person. And so that helped me realize and appreciate who I am, because like I said, as a young brown woman or girl, I wasn't represented in any mainstream media. And even hearing like the seeing Mujeres de Maíz events and hearing the In La Quech album helped me give feel strong in my sense of identity. Those things are really crucial when you're coming of age. So that's one book. Elisa says, how do you tame your empathetic tendencies for stuff people post that matter? How do you keep from getting too involved, especially when it triggers you? Oh, I know. So I choose to invest my time in the folks who I have had years of relationships with, right? So yesterday I was doing some really important stuff that I had to do for court, like with the child custody case that I'm going through with my ex. But my friend called me and, they needed help. This is a friend of like 20 years. So I stopped what I was doing, even though I was on limited time. Like my husband took all the kids to the beach so that I could have quiet, focused time. And I have very little quiet, focused time during the week, right? But this is something that I super treasure. So what are the things that you treasure? What are the things that you most treasure? Who are the people who you most treasure? And I only do the tesoros. Like I only put myself out there. It's worth the sacrifice. It's worth the time. It's worth the slight change of direction for me. If it's for someone who's super worth it, I never regret it. Right. But if it's for a stranger, I don't know them. So many strangers hit me up, and I love my community. My love goes out to them, but I'm not the only healer. I'm not the only person who could help them, right? They have the power to reach out to other folks. So give the power, give the ball back to them and tell them, like, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. Unfortunately, I can't help you with this right now. But I trust that you will be guided in the direction that is perfect for you right now, that'll give you everything you need to do to heal. Right? It's that simple. Question from Hannah or Henna. What are your thoughts on keeping your Instagram account private versus public? On one hand, I want others to feel open to connect with me, reach out, and know I can offer services. But I have it as private because it feels too vulnerable and revealing. Yeah, for sure. So if you would like to grow your Instagram account, if you want it to, if you want to use it for your healing business, then you need to have it on public, so that you could show up in search engines, so that people could repost you, and for those reasons. If you want it personal, or if you only want like to work with people who you know personally, then keep it private. Mhm.
Yes, wanted to say about that. I have a private account where I
Mhm.
just interact with my blood relatives, and that's it. Like, and I have the public one with friends too, and I love them, and relatives too. But I have one that's really private, where it's just my blood relatives, my immediate family, and it's not to like make my friends feel bad or my acquaintances or that. That is called self-preservation.
Can I join your family account?
Sorry, you could be on my Lily Art video. No, I mean, and you could get my number. You know what I mean? You could call me, and doesn't mean it's because I have such a big family, and like you were saying, I have my tias, and if they want to go and see me and my other stuff, they do, and they do. Some of them are on both, but I really feel because I don't get to see them a lot, and some of them are in Mexico, and so I have so much family here too. I don't, and then the quarantine and all that, I had to make something that I could just interact with them, and I'm talking like my blood relatives, pretty much.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Love it. So we have Tere. Tere says, advice needed. I want to put out content that is genuine and in line with me, but I'm trying to surround myself with people I'm in line with. I don't want to copy or feel like I'm just repeating what others are doing. How to find our true voice? Oh, I love this question, and I love working with my students. Shout out to all the A Cerrar las Caderas folks on this call today. I see you. I love you. And so here's how I work with my students. So first you would ask yourself who you're talking to. You act like you're talking to one person, right? You don't try to appeal to a mass audience, because then your message gets lost, right? So who do you want to talk to? What are the words that we use? Like I know with like for example, in my ebook, Learn the Pinche Internet Already, some people don't know what pinche means, but that's okay, because this book is not for everybody, right? Because I'm speaking from my Chicana Indígena experience and how I use this as a Chicana Indígena. So that's one way, is like use the words that you already naturally use. You don't have to change your language. You don't have to, try to sound different. And then also, what do they need? Like the person who you want to serve, what do they most need? With this book, I know a lot of what people need is to have a healthy relationship with the internet, and also to use the internet as a tool for their own liberation and upliftment, right? And so in my mind, when I'm writing the book, I'm asking myself, like, okay, I'm telling folks exactly what I do, but also how would my ancestors use the internet, right? And so I'm coming across with that voice and that intention in mind. So what do they need? What is their deepest wound? In order for a healer to be able to heal to their maximum potential, you have to know your deepest wound, and you have to know the deepest wound of the person that you're healing. Right. And so many times my deep wound is the same deepest wound as my students and my clients. And that's why they're attracted to me, because they know that because I'm healing this wound, or I have healed this wound, that I have medicine for that wound. I have been through what they're going through. And so a part of there's someone with their mic on. Can you turn it off? Whoever has your mic on, I can't see who it is. Turn your mic off. So whoever you're talking to, just know their wound, address that wound, be the medicine to their wound. And you only, let me see, can you mute all, Lily Flor? Just try to click mute all.
We did, and I think we accidentally muted you. So hold on.
Oh, I'm here. I'm back.
Okay, we're good.
Yes, I am muted. Yes.
Yeah. So those are my tips for showing up authentically. And there are going to be people who copy you, try to mimic you. It happens to me all the time. All you can do is just keep being yourself. Right? That's all you could do. Keep being genuine.
I say take it like a compliment.
Yeah, it happens all the time. People have copied myself word for word. I'm just like, okay. Yeah.
No. That word for word is a whole different ballgame. Word for word is an infringement, and it's a cease and desist. So yeah, no, that's a different thing. But yeah. No.
Yeah, it's wild. Do you have an app that helps you plan and schedule content? There are apps that do that. I haven't found success with those apps. Like there's always weird little glitches for me. But I wonder if my social media manager doesn't either. But there are apps, and a lot of folks will use them. I don't. Maybe in the future.
Well, can I interject for that question? I found the Google Docs were really good, and the meeting reminders on your phone, those are really good. I like those. And what I really, really encourage is people writing, having I'm actually a planner person, you know, like,
Yeah.
and something about writing just sticks in my brain. And then
Yeah.
I have that. So it's maybe something to look into planners.
Yeah. And the way I work with my social media manager is that, well, we've done it a couple ways. So one way we do it is by using a, what is it called? What do we use? I forget. It's an app so right now we're using ClickUp. ClickUp is a app that it's a workflow app to help you manage your tasks. And so we have all of the ideas in one section. As Brenda, my social media manager, is working on it. So we come up with the fancy idea section. We totally just name it. Our thingy is called fancy idea. That's our working idea. So we got our fancy ideas. We put the fancy idea in the fancy idea section. And then together we'll work on it, and it's in progress. She makes the graphics. I don't do the graphics anymore. Takes me a lot of time. And then I'll edit the graphics for the wording to be perfect, the way, like in my voice, in the way that I want to come across. And then I'll either write or edit the description at the bottom. And then so we have this flow and then when it's done, I'll approve it and move it to a next section. So we have this flow where it's like almost like to do, doing, done, right? And so that's how we're doing it on ClickUp. Ajira said, yay, Ajira's here from Team Indigemama. Some popular ones, Planoly, Later, HubSpot, Hootsuite, Edgar, Canva lets you schedule posts as well. Oh, good, I know that about Canva. How much time do you dedicate to self-care, says Marisol, and what are the different forms, tools of self-care you utilize on a daily/weekly basis? So daily, so I breastfeed all night. So my mornings are mine. My husband takes care of breakfast. He takes care of the kids. If he comes in when I'm like oiling and lathering my body, I'm like, you're bringing the chaos. Can you leave, please? Because all the kids will come. I have 4 kids, a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 12-year-old.
Damn, you got it like that, girl? Good for you.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's amazing. My partner is amazing. You have to have support. And I've been in a partnership, like my last partner, where there's no support and you're doing everything and you live on fumes. And I didn't even realize, like, I was so used to being burnt out that I didn't even realize my body was tired. You know, like you don't feel it, like your body adjusts to it, your mind adjusts, your emotions adjust. You don't know until you go through your process of like deep healing and giving yourself what you actually need. And it's really interesting too, because it's the same with water. If you're chronically dehydrated, then you don't get thirsty, right? Once you give yourself water and your body gets used to water, then you start getting thirsty. Right? You start craving, like, oh, you're not getting the perfect amount of water, then you want more water, right? And it's the same thing with self-care. And so my partner knows, like, hey, I breastfeed, I sleep in positions that I don't want to sleep in so that my baby could nurse comfortably, right? I deserve to have a slow ass morning, right? I get my breakfast, I get my coffee, I could eat without, like, you know, the babies climb on me. I'm like, up, like, look what's happening. And then my partner, you know, removes the baby. Like, the morning is mine. So that's one big daily thing that that helps a lot. Also, supplements. I take mushrooms. I take vitamin C. I take herbal supplements. Right now, I'm recovering from COVID. I'm in my 3rd month recovering from COVID. So I'm still on a lot of those supplements. Um, lots of water. And then baths. I like to take baths, maybe like once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'll take just like a big ass, we have like a little jacuzzi bathtub, well, a big jacuzzi bathtub that I get in, and I just soak, and maybe I'll listen to a podcast or one of my little audio books and just like be alone, you know. And self massage, like sobadas, all the time. I check in with my womb all the time. Yeah, but and then gardening, outdoors time. We eat breakfast outside on when we have good weather, which is most of the time in California. Connecting with the elements as much as possible. And one thing that I want to say to folks who are parents: play with your kids, because that's self-care. Playing with your kids is self-care. I dance with them, like, and I notice when I'm not playing with them, even if it's like stuff I don't want to play, like Ninja Turtles. Wait, that's my 3-year-old right now. Ninja Turtles. Like, I figure out a way to enjoy it. Like, what we did was we stood up the Ninja Turtles in a circle, and we were like, ring around the roses, and like my husband's watching me, he's like cracking up at me, like, you're actually enjoying this. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool, it's fun, like we're using our imaginations. So find a way to enjoy playing with your kids if it's not something that's enjoyable for you. Heidi says, I breastfeed, sleep with my baby all night, and I'm used to rushing to get things done in the morning. I know that life. I'm about to change things and start enjoying a bath. Yep, for aunties too. Oh, Naomi says Naomi says we built a fort today. Brenda says Legos for me. Oh my gosh. That's one thing that's so frustrating. I can't do Legos. That's not how my mind works. Cynthia says going back to basics feeds a happy soul. And if you even just listen to your kids, listen to the things they say, because they're here as messengers. They will spit knowledge that will blow your mind. Like, listen to them tell you what their dreams are. Listen to their reflections. Hear them problem solve. And I promise you, you will learn something. Marisol says, beautiful share, Tlasikamati. What a supportive partner you have. Yeah, he's the best. Thankful to the joyous expression and sharing out what sustains. Yes, I craft and dance with my kids. Oh, I want to craft. I'm not artsy. I need some mujeres de maíz in my life because I can't do art. I'm the worst. They're like, what is that, mommy? It's a bird.
Okay, we're gonna have to do some art together. You're gonna have
Yes.
to come and join my Lily Flor Art and Healing Workshop. So we do teaching how to do mantras with art modalities. So
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
let's talk about that. Yeah.
Yes,
And
that'd be
everyone can
awesome.
support. But
That'd
yes, and you don't have to be an artist, just an expressionist.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I could do that.
Yeah. So we're gonna work on that.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how to win my Aligned Healer Learn the Pinche Internet Already book. All right, so the first 5 people who donate, don't donate yet. I'm gonna time it. So at 121, starting at 121, the first 5 people to donate to Mujeres de Maíz in any amount will get a copy of Aligned Healer Learn the Pinche Internet Already. All right, so starting now, someone put the link, and then at 121, you all the race starts.
Okay, you guys, join our fundraiser. This fundraiser will help us, Mujeres de Maíz. We are raising funds to produce Mujeres de Maíz over 24 years, and we hope to have this out by next year for our 25th anniversary, and we need your help to make this happen. Our programming every year is free. We only take donations for programming like this. Normally we do it in person, but this year we're doing virtually and offering comunidad through virtual streaming and Zoom and YouTube and lives throughout, social media. So this year we are promoting our fundraiser at GoFundMe. The link is in the chats. Please.
I forgot to sorry.
Yes.
Can you put social media and self-care when you donate in the comment, social media and self-care, so that I know that you're
So just know that you're going to a good place, and honoring also el trabajo Mujeres de Maíz, and as well as Indigemama as well, because she is donating her books, her time with us, and it's all a collective effort. So we continue the work as mujeres and women of color specifically. So please donate, regardless if you get the ebook or not, and come and join us for the next programming that we have. We have more Sanacion Sundays, and we have weekly programming. Join us on mujeresdemais.com. And also make sure you follow Miss Indigemama on her social media platforms, and as well as her email for the follow-up PDF file. Can you post that up? Put the little link so that you get the PDF of the book she was just talking about, the little, tips and homework. So we do a follow-up, and you could do a follow-up with her and possibly join her workshops as well. So yeah, I just wanted to pitch that up. Claudia, do you want to say anything? Claudia Mercado is also the producer. Sorry, my bad. Is the producer as well, and the documentarian of Mujeres de Maíz, and as well as one of the co-founders. So here you go, Claudia. I'll unmute yourself.
All right, there we go. Can you guys hear me now? Yes? Órale, cool. Well, just thank you all, ladies, mujeres, hermanas, Pansenketsi, for, for doing this really awesome taller workshop, talking about, how to coexist in this new digital age with this, internet. And I just want to say that, Mujeres de Maíz has been doing this type of work for 24 years. Giving space to women of color who understand themselves as urban indigenous women, as mujeres who want to empower other mujeres, who want to empower themselves, but who also want to share the knowledges of our ancestors, the knowledges that, we need so much more today, that the younger generations need to have this knowledge to reconnect to themselves, but also reconnect to nature, to our Madre Tierra, right? To the elements, these sacred elements that, for example, in Lakech sang about and inspired so many, right? Through so many different types of movements, like the Peace and Dignity run, conferences, universities. And so I'm just very honored to be able to be here today to advocate for everybody who feels and acknowledges the importance of brown, urban, indigenous women telling their stories, sharing their knowledge. And that's what Mujeres de Maíz has been doing. And, as I mentioned earlier, I started to document the work, the dreams, the desires, the visions of mujeres wanting a better vision for themselves, a better life for themselves and their communities. And so that's how Mujeres de Maíz got started, with following their desire to share their voice, their desire to share their knowledge. And so we need to share that with the world. We need to, share this story, because it's not only about this collective, but it's about women regaining their power to validate themselves, validate their desire, validate their ancestry, validate their voices, their experience. And Mujeres de Maíz has given a space for women to do that, for inner city women to do that. And in doing that, we recognize each other. We we see reflections of each other, right? And when we see reflections with each other, then we don't feel alone. We get empowered and we remember, we remember our strengths, our innate goddess, right? And the very first year of Mujeres de Maíz, our very first zine was titled The Birth of the Goddess of Corn. But that was us, because we are Mujeres de Maíz, and God, one of our elders who recently died, this maestra, elder, abuelita Margarita, from Mexico, who she would always say, God, we are God. God exists in us. God, we're the goddess, and when we remember that, that's who we become. We're not perfect, but in our essence, and reconnecting to our essence. And I think this is what all of this is about: learning ways to remain empowered, learning ways to remain connected to our sources of power, to the elements, to the nature, to the knowledges that have been, held on and passed on generation through generation, whether it was through oral, and maybe now it's going to be digital, right? All the, as the book that Pansenkatsi is donating to us. So, not only will you be donating to Mujeres de Maíz, but you'll be getting the zine, and you'll be contributing to passing on this knowledges for the 7 generations to come. And so all this work that Mujeres de Maíz has been doing for the last 24 years, we'll be able to give it in a solid form, to the next generations to come, so they can also remember and reconnect. And that's what it is, because we are here, not just because we just knew all this stuff. It's been passed down to us. There's been people that have been paving the path, have been saving the knowledge, passing the knowledge. So please consider donating. Any amount is welcome. And if donating is not a possibility for you right now, please pass the word to your friends, to people who can donate, and let's make this a reality. Let's give this to the next generations to come. The Mujeres de Maíz story needs to be told, and it is a missing chapter of LA history. So let us make history in the books, and we've already been making it in real life in our communities. So now let's put it down on paper so that people cannot forget the power of mujeres. So thank you so much, Mujeres, for listening. And I'm going to pass the baton. We'll go ahead. I think we've been putting I'm going to check the GoFundMe page. Let's see. Let me have to refresh
We'll see who won, okay? Right before we log off, hopefully we'll get that in.
Okay.
We have Heaven Nunez, who's going to get the ebook. We got Marisol Duarte, you're going to get the ebook.
Yay!
Andrea Samudio, you're going to get the ebook. Este, you're already going to get the ebook through ACLC. So I'm going to give someone else your spot so someone else could get it. We need 2 more people. If you could send me. Okay. Did I already say Andrea?
If you're on the chat, then more than likely
Yeah,
we'll
I
just
did
go
say
by the
Andrea.
chat. If you said you
So-
donated, we're gonna trust that you did, okay?
Leslie Gilbert also. So let's see who is it. Esther, Heaven, Marisol, Andrea, Samudio, and Leslie. Yay! Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, ladies, mujeres, hermanas, for taking the time. And please definitely spread the word. Spread the word of Mujeres, creating space for other mujeres. It's intergenerational, multimedia, urban, indigenous women of color, artists and activists, maestras, healers, storytellers. And this is the medicine that the world needs. This is the medicine that the world needs. So help us continue providing that medicine to the world.
Thank you. So if you were one of the 5 people who won, just go ahead and private message me or message me here in the chat right now, your email, and I'll send that to you right away. Okay. And one thing that I was thinking, Claudia, last night when I was watching the documentary is how this is going to be a must watch for Chicano studies programs in all the universities. And I wonder, you know, when our kids grow up and they're, you know, majoring in Chicano studies, Chicanic studies, and they're watching this, like we could tell them like, hey, oh yeah, I helped make that happen. You know, I helped make that project happen. It's such an important project. This is one example of how we are documenting our own stories and we are choosing to represent ourselves exactly the way we would like to be represented. We're telling our stories through our lenses. And that's something that is missing in our communities right now.
And also I just wanted to say, you know, these are stories that are from women from all walks of life, from all types of genders, from different colors.
Yeah.
And so it is a reflection of the diversity of women, non-binary, trans, you know, straight, queer, bi, you know, it's like, and these are stories told, you know, for the greater good of humanity. And so I just can't stress enough how, you know, these are stories of medicine for the world. And the world needs these stories right now. You know, there's so many people that are confused during these times.
Yeah.
With so much toxicity that is going on around the world, you know, but it's dying. That old world is dying. And right now we're at the dawn of a new age, and people need, you know, an alternative vision, an alternative world to imagine and remember and have hope for. And so we are just here to help people remember, help people reconnect. And so this is a great project to support. You know, that cafecito that you're going to buy at Starbucks, give it to us. We're going to turn that, you know, those $6 or those $4, and we're going to turn it into, you know, a tree. You know, that's what it's going to become. It's so let's transform and really, you know, really become that seed of that new world that is coming. So let's do this. And with your help, we can do it. So please definitely spread the word. Keep in touch. We have many more events to come. We have, as you know, we have Sundays. It's all about Sanacion Sundays, you know, providing great healers to talk about different aspects of how to empower your health, you know, your mind, body, and spirit. On Mondays, we're focusing on Music Mondays, on female musicians, up and coming and established artists. Wednesdays, we're doing Writing Wednesdays, looking at poetry, looking at books, published books, writers. Fridays, we have Film Fridays. And so, yeah, look at our website, mujeresdemaiz.com, our Facebook pages. All of our events will be posted on there. So we have a month long of programming, as we have been doing for the last 24 years. So let's celebrate all this amazing work. Yeah.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you, guys.
So, Pakistani, how do you feel right now?
I feel really excited. We are giving the ebook away. Z, we need your email. You're the last person. So we got our 5 winners. I'm really excited to be able to be a part of this project and to contribute And I love giveaways. If you've ever like taken part of any of my challenges or online events, like I always have like a raffle or a giveaway. It's just like so fun to me. Like I love it. So yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you so much for having me. I feel really really honored to be a part of all of this.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your story since you were 12 years old with MDM, Mujeres de Maíz. That is so amazing to see you grow from then. I remember you when you first started. I don't know if you remember me, but I remember you. I remember. And just seeing you grow into this lovely woman and growing into yourself and your medicina is such a beautiful thing. And to see all the other young women, and like you said, when your kids go to school and learn about her story, they're gonna know that mama was a part of it, and Indigemama was a part of it, and know that your time here is precious, and we thank you again. And that what you're putting in today, what you put in today, is going to help so many women, and you can't put a price tag on that either. um, but what you're putting this time and effort to help us in the programming for the month, and not only that, but for our fundraiser, your time is also valuable and it's accounted for, and so your time is also payment and donation towards making it happen. So when you see the final produced documentaries, you say like, I was a part of that. Yep, yep, yep. And your kids are gonna be, Mama was a part of it, and then your whole comunidad, the mujeres and the mujeres that are here right now, are a part of it too. You women here that are in sacred space with us are also a part of it. The women that donated as well are a part of it. So everyone that donates to our programming, whether it's for the documentary or not, it's part of the reciprocation, right? You take care of those that take care of you, and that's part of ceremonia, right? And so thank you so much again, Panketsani, from Indigemama, Ancestral Healing, and the Indigenous Escuela as well, which actually I just barely found out about it. I don't know how I missed that, but get on her email list and find out who she is, join in her classes and her workshops. Also, make sure that you follow her on her social media, and make sure you also follow Mujeres de Maíz. Do you want to say one last word so we could close off?
Me?
Yes, yes.
You.
I'm like, there's so many mujeres with beautiful palabras who could say so much. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to say to all of to you, to remember that you are sacred, and as much as you care for others, I want you to care for yourself times 10. Right? That way you can have more love to give, and it just comes from a space of overflow. That's what I want for you. That's what I desire for you, is to just give so much and to be a self-contained energetic unit to where you're just overflowing all the time.
Thank you. Yes, and everyone, please take heed to all the kind words and all the palabra that was shared here. And yes, let's take these tips and walk away with joy and happiness today, and have a blessed day today. Ladies, we thank you so much for being with us today, and we're going to log off and bid you farewell until the next one, our next session of Sanacion Sundays. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, let's go shout out all together. Everybody unmute. We're gonna unmute. We're gonna go un grito si quieren, or say hello. We're gonna just shut it off. Okay? Ready? Ready? Let's go.
Hello.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Michelle.
Bye.
Gracias. Saludos.
Hey.
Good
Talk to
night, everybody.
everyone.
Stay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
good
Thank
day.
you. Share the word. Palabras. Hasta luego.
Adios, amigas.
Adios.
Pakistani will stay on as soon as
Bye,
everyone.
Akira.
And I'll stop the recording. Okay.
I unmuted myself, but I think everybody else is muted, right?
We're gonna have to ask everybody to leave except for the moderators.
And did you get the winners emails?
Hold on, lady. We still have people here.
Oh,
You gotta go. Bye, ladies. I know you want to stay with us, but we're gonna.
I love Lily Flor. You
What? It's a-
gotta go.
So we love you, but y'all gotta go.
Uh-oh, there's a sale going on.
Okay. Hold on a second. We got more people still here. Hold on. All right, you guys. You guys gotta have to ladies, you
And then you gotta quit the YouTube.
I did all that.
Really, it says live on YouTube.
Oh no, I didn't do that. Hold on. Hold on. People are still trying to get in, but hold on. They're still coming in, girl. They're like, I want to get in. Hold on.
Give me more tips, cabrona.
Hold on. How do I turn off? Okay. Do I just shut it off, right? Okay. There. What do you mean everything? Okay. Also the Zoom, should I turn it off? Okay, so ladies, we'll catch up at we'll talk right now. Can you log back on Pakistani?